record it. I know we're kind of on a limited time. Okay. So Carl just got off the surge, and the only like new piece that he shared that wasn't part of Summit was the new Sagi workouts that will launch on BOD in like the week of Labor Day. And so that's exciting. And then, yeah, I think the rest of the stuff, other than the diamond bonus pool, I don't know if you have read about that FAQ, but that's a really awesome way. Like he's suggesting to pay for Christmas. You just need to qualify for diamond and hold it for 6 weeks in either quarter 3 or quarter 4, and then earn Success Club during that quarter each month. And you would be eligible for that bonus, which typically diamonds and 1-stars don't qualify for the bonus. So that is a nice perk for you pushing for your diamond, or anyone else on here who may be as well. I'm in the process of rewriting all of my notes, which is totally ridiculous because these are all my notes from Summit. But we were told at the post-Summit workshop to rewrite everything in blue because it helps you remember it. And then, hey, Emily. And then also typing them up into a Google Doc that I will share with all of you, hopefully sometime this week. It's taken me all day just to rewrite them. And I know Tyler had asked the other people who were at Summit with us to share their aha moments. And I know a couple of them can't be on tonight, but they'll be on the event. And we're going to have to devote more calls to Summit in the future because there's just a couple of topics I would like to talk at length about. But I kind of just made a quick top 10 I wanted to share. And this isn't even all the way through my notes, but we were able to go to some pre and post Summit workshops. And the first thing was, when you're vanilla on social media or with people, it attracts no one. So you really want to be yourself and like find that niche. And like, I think Shannon's doing a really great job with that, like with all of her like crazy hair photos. Like now everyone knows like that's what to expect from you. And you're either going to attract, or I didn't say attract, you're either going to like repel people on social media, or you're going to make them curious. And obviously we want people to be curious. And so to do that, our post should do one of 3 things: either inspire people, inform people, or entertain people. I think I've gotten out of the habit in my challenge groups and as a coach, as I focus more on the business side of doing this. But we want to be sure as coaches, when we get our people signed up, it's not just for those 2 Success Club points, but we want to over deliver and overserve. We want to give them more than they paid for with signing up as a coach. And in those hard times, there was a session on like, how do you make it through as a coach when you're having those hard lifetimes? And there were some people up there that the things they've gone through, I haven't gone through anything like that in my life, but they talked about just sharing your shit. Just share it, but you don't want to be like a hot mess express the whole time. And so they talked about some platforms where you would want to be more polished and quote unquote perfect. And that would be like on Facebook, on your posts, on your Instagram posts. And then you would leave like the imperfect hot mess express for like Instagram stories, your Facebook Live, and Snapchat, which I thought was kind of interesting. Like I never knew how to delve into Instagram or Snapchat kind of until this weekend when I watched Carolyn, kind of seeing what she was posting on different platforms. And that really makes a lot of sense. Throughout the weekend, some PD books were recommended to us. One is Present Over Perfect. And I don't know the author, but Jen Rutledge would know the author of that one. The 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins. Why Leaders Eat Last from Simon Sinek. And Josh Coates is going to be doing a post-summit kind of like fire up. And he told a story, which I've heard him tell before, but it talked about how as parents, we need to throw our limiting beliefs away. And we need to do that for our kids. And he gave the example of if you were to be out for a night with your spouse and you came home and the babysitter was in the house and your house was on fire, what would you do? And he said, like, you would knock the door down. You would do everything you can, kick the door down to get to your children. That's what you need to do to your limiting belief. And not to use your kids as an excuse, but to use them as your why. And that your kids don't have to sacrifice for you to be successful. We have to sacrifice in order to be successful. So that really hit home with me. One of the coaches talked about like the 4 fundamentals of being successful would be to set goals, visualize where you want to be. Actually, it's 5. Affirm yourself, use positive affirmations, improve your self-talk to yourself, and then surround yourself with good people. And actually, they meant like rather than just like face-to-face people, your friends, your team, your family, but authors, just like pouring that PD into yourself. And Danielle Natoni's husband really simplified the 4 vital behaviors. And he said, all you have to do to be successful is just say hi to people. Say hi to people, ask them how they're doing, and make their day. And the worst thing that could happen is that you make someone else's day. And that success can be for anyone. It's not just for the elite coaches. It's not just for the people who you think have an easy road. It's for all of us if we're intentional with the 4 vital behaviors. So being a product of the product. Our body is our business, so we need to get results so we inspire others. We need to read a book. We need to talk to people by inviting, and we need to shout out people who are doing a good job. And so I think oftentimes we complicate those 4 things, and they're really not as hard as we make them. We just have to do them. And they're mundane, they're unsexy. Some days we might hate them, but it's going to be what gets us to success. So those are kind of some of my takeaways, and I'm actually forming a list of action steps that I'm going to be implementing in my health and fitness journey and in my business. And the first one is starting with me and getting my own results and making my body my business. And that is what I'm doing with Shift Shop and nailing the nutrition and nailing the workouts, despite the fact that I'm at the lake, that I'm going to want beer and s'mores and ice cream, and it's my birthday. I'm just going to get those results and watch my business blow up from there. Tyler, do you want to share?
I can do that. This business is about helping people, obviously, and it's about helping people, as the saying goes, lead healthy and fulfilling lives. But we can't do that until, well, the way I heard it this weekend is we can't pour out anything until our cups are full. And so right now my cup is very full. I'm excited about this. I'm excited to pour this out on for other people. I feel like right now I'm being a better father. I'm being a better husband. I'm excited to be a better teacher, a better coach, all of it. So, and I'm getting up earlier and going to bed later. So it's kind of weird that you can do that and still be more filled than before. But so that is where the center of this is helping people and helping people feel the way that I feel right now, because I think it's amazing. But also I really like the business side of this whole thing. And I like to listen to the business side, and I like to talk about the business side. And it's not always easy because we do want to keep at the core the fact that we're helping people. Because if you get at the core the business, you're no longer looking at helping people, and then you're going to lose everything that makes this business what it is. But right now, Beachbody is about to take off in a huge growth cycle. And I love Scotty Hobbs talks about the surfer, because he loves to surf when he can. And he talks about the surfer that you can't just wait for the wave to hit you, or you'll never be able to ride it. You have to start paddling now when you see the wave coming. And I believe that with Beachbody, we see the wave coming, and we need to start paddling our, off right now, so that we can hit that wave when it gets here, so we can be at the top of that wave, not getting knocked over by it. And some of that stuff, the clinical trials they have, They had clinical trials on the 5% more. You're getting 5% more out of your workout when you take Energize. It's not just a imaginary powder that makes me want to actually get up and work out in the morning when I don't want to get up. It actually does something for you, and it gets more for you out of your workout. And the fact that people who are on Shakeology with no motivation other than they hadn't eaten all night, they gave them Shakeology and they wouldn't eat that extra piece of pizza. No willpower involved, nothing. They just were full. And those things are kind of big that they're doing that. They're seeing that people are fighting back against those things, and Beachbody itself is helping us to fight those objections with those clinical trials. And I just see all, Shift Shop coming. They got new Sagi workouts. They're growing hugely, and I'm excited to be a part of this part of it. Again, the focus is to help people feel the way I feel right now, but the business is a big thing right now. So it also can make me and my family financially stable, financially sound, and financially in a really great place. So I'm excited about that too. That was mine.
Okay. If you watched any of the live streaming or what Carl talked about on the surge, he mentioned about he wants all of us to be in the chair next to him. And actually he pulled up a chair on stage and said he's inviting us to be in that spot with him. And this company has our back. They have seen that this last year was hard. They're doing a lot to reinvent the wheel. And he is totally genuine when he says he wants all 400,000 of us to be in that chair next to him. So I am taking that seriously with our team cup, when forming our team cup, when thinking about this next year. I wanted to take a couple of minutes to recognize some people for some things that they recognize at Summit, as well as just being there, making that time and financial commitment. And I know already, I think we have 10 Game Changers confirmed for 2018 in Indy, which is amazing. And I know it's just going to grow from there. So I would like to shout out these people for being at their first summit. Amanda, Jen Rutledge, Carolyn, and Tyler. Then at Summit, there were some special recognitions that happened. Beachbody always does it big. And there were banners everywhere for these people showing their accomplishments. And first one was Jen Rutledge for being a success starter. And so what that meant is with her first 3 months of coaching, she hit Success Club 5 and actually earned her free ticket to New Orleans Summit. And any new coaches could do that in their first 3 months of coaching. There was a banner there recognizing our Emerald coaches. So that was Jen, Stacy, and Carolyn. There was a banner recognizing Diamond coaches, which was Tyler. And then these banners hung from the ceiling, and it was kind of cool. I wanted to have Tyler, I wanted to go on his shoulders and have him lift me up and point to my name on the banner, but it was so high, we couldn't. And so I was recognized and walked the stage for 1 star. And next year, I don't want to be the only one doing that. It was freaking amazing. 20,000 people were watching as I walked the stage. And I did that because I was representing our Game Changers. It wasn't for me. It was for all of you, the hard work you've done, all the lives we have helped change together. I wouldn't be that. Tyler wouldn't be Diamond if it wasn't for all of the coaches on this team and all of the people we had helped. And the last thing was Success Club 5 Legend, which means I hit Success Club 5 for 24 straight months. Now I'm up to 30. And each time you hit one of those milestones, Beachbody rewards you with a ribbon, and then the ranks after Diamond, a medal, which is kind of cool, and then preferred seating at different events. And so several people, as I'm rewriting, my hand's about to fall off, all of my notes from Summit, I have blue pen all over my hands. Several people said, in 2018, none of us want to be in the same spot we were in New Orleans. We want to advance ourselves and be in a different seat in Indy in 2018. And so I am taking that challenge to heart. And so I wanted to take this time to share my goals with all of you. I haven't delved into it on the team page yet because I'm doing this 5-day post-summit plan. And yesterday, day one was to like decompress, not work, stay off your device, spend time with your family. So I tried really hard to do that. Not gonna lie, I probably wasn't very successful. But my goal would be by the end of 2017 to be a 2-star diamond team. So that means Team Game Changers would have 2 diamonds. And then with that, I would be able to qualify for New Leaders Conference, which means I would be bringing back even more stuff to you guys to help you. And then next year at Summit, so like during the qualification period for Summit, my goal is to have Team Game Changers be a 5-star diamond team. And it is a big goal. And something I'm going to have to reevaluate. I'm working at getting a form out to all of you so I can see where your goals are halfway through 2017. Because to be honest, if no one wants to push for diamond, I have to do one of 2 things. One, I need new people, which we all need new people anyway. But 2, I just might need to reevaluate some goals. But I see big things on this team. I see big leadership. I saw the light turned on for lots of coaches at Summit, and I think it is totally doable. They say smart goals aren't smart, they're stupid, which is funny because coming from an education background, and Shannon, you might agree with this, like you're always told, like with your clients and your students to plan SMART goals. You know, they need to be measurable and blah, blah. I can't even think what they all stand for, because ever since I started coaching, my goals haven't been that way. Goals are meant to stretch you, and if you fail, you just put it in the I suck file and you move on. And one coach put her I suck file on screen, and the thing she did was hilarious. And she is like 8-time elite coach, top earner with Beachbody, and she was trying to give away flat screen TVs, and she planned clean eating groups and not one single person joined. And so we just need to grow from our failures and not like take them so personally. So I guess that's kind of what Tyler and I have. I know everyone else has more takeaways. Gosh, Shannon, do you have any questions from what you saw or what you've heard since then? I know.
So I'm just excited to hear more. Like you said, you're going to go into length about some stuff. I watched the Josh Coates talk, and it was amazing. I need to put the thing about the loving your kids enough to push. Like I need to print it out, make it like a graphic, and print it out and hang it up. Because I like this. I've been struggling like the last 2 weeks and stuff, and like I messaged you like, I need to do this for my family. Like I need that reminder every single day that even though it's crazy right now, we're trying to get everyone ready for bed, like it's worth it, because I didn't get home tonight until 7:00. And I was like, Pa, I can't, like, we wouldn't even, and we still didn't eat till almost 8. We even scrapped what we were going to cook to make something faster. Like, so we need it. And Paul is probably going to be looking for new jobs. So I might be moving in the next year or 2, and so ideally if I can move and not have to worry about finding a job right away or finding something part-time. I mean, I don't have to shove them somewhere I don't know because I have to get a job. So I'm just excited to
I appreciate
learn.
your dedication, because I know it's not easy with little ones. In fact, I don't even know where my kids are right now. My dad took them. And I just got a text saying they're at my house. And I'm like, are you bringing them back? Like, it's bedtime. So, I want to break what we learned down into some smaller sessions in the coming weeks. And one of them is definitely like intentionality. Being intentional with your 4 vitals. I feel like, I don't know if it's I've overcomplicated it or individually everyone has overcomplicated it and made it. I mean, I guess for the last month, I've overcomplicated it myself. And once you get behind one day, it's a lot harder to get doing the second day. And that's all elite coaches do. They do those 4 vital behaviors, and if they're pushing for big goals, they just talk to more people. We can be successful too. We have everything at our fingertips. We know what to do. We just need to do it. And that was why one afternoon, I'll admit, we were all tired. We all kind of were. I looked down the row and everyone's kind of like on their phone, zoning out. There was people in the back of the room sleeping. And I thought, gosh, I wish I would have went to the leadership session. I know all this. I've heard all this. And I think it was Danielle Natoni who said, yeah, you have heard all this. You have seen all of it because you've done training calls. You've watched YouTube videos. You've maybe been to summits. But your ears are open to hear things at different times in your business because you change, your journey changes, you as a coach change. And so we're never too veteran or too good to hear what they have to say. And just some things touch you more than others. So I kind of had to like do a leadership check with myself. Like, I'm not even modeling good behavior right now. I'm checked out. Of course, everyone else is going to be. And so we know what we need to do. Only thing that's holding us back from being diamond, 1-star, 5-star, elite, whatever your goal is. And if those aren't your goals, that's okay. We have everything at our fingertips. So intentionality is one of the things I definitely want to talk about in the coming weeks. And we have our team cup, I think, finalized. I think I have another team for Tyler to hop on. So yeah, I'm going to be in the chair next to Carl, and I hope everyone from our team is going to be too. So that's kind of all I have. I think it would probably be good for all of us, for Shannon to have some time to put her kids to bed, for Tyler and I to find our kids. So even though our time is not up, I think we will. Tyler, do you have anything else? Okay. I think we will stop it there so we can kind of regroup. Hey, Jill. For tonight's event. So, Shannon, if you want to hop off, I can kind of get Jill caught up so you can put your kids to bed. I don't want. Okay. All right. Tyler, do you want to find our kids? Okay. Hey, Jill. I'm just gonna kind of give you like a quick recap of what we talked about. I know a lot of the other people who went to Summit had some conflicts for tonight, and it was kind of like we didn't really know how to plan with Carl's surge, and we're supposed to do our team surge, and then we have our team event tonight. So I just want to get everyone together to talk about a few things, and I did record it. But the main theme that kept coming around from Summit was that as people, as coaches, wherever we are in our journey, we don't want to be in the same spot a year from now than we are today. We want to keep evolving. Like for me, that starts with Shift Shop. And I saw you decided to join in today. And another thing that was kind of reiterated was to stay in phase 1, and that's getting our results, because getting our own results is what is going to move our business forward. And I am totally guilty of this. I have slacked on my nutrition and it's affected my results. I'm just holding my own. But they talked kind of like what a lot of people said was your body is your business. And I'm like, oh gosh, you're right. Like I don't necessarily want a beach body, but how true is that? So I also told Shannon that there are, I think, 10 game changers already confirmed for Indy in 2018. So if you have any questions, be sure you reach out to Stacy or I. We're talking about having Tyler drive a bus because it is drivable. So that he's gonna look into it, but he does have his like not just his CDL, but his charter license or whatever. So that is cool. And then that like the company is paying attention. 2016-17 was kind of a hard year with the transition to Beachbody On Demand All Access. But I don't know if you saw about like the Clean Week coming out.
Yep. I haven't read into it, but I saw it.
That is going to be like amazing for simplifying things with us, as well as I just saw on the surge that Sagi's coming out with like a 5-day week, kind of like Sean Week.
Who is?
Sagi, like the weightlifting.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the workouts are 45 minutes, except for one will be 25. And that's
Okay.
launching September 5th through 9th, and it'll be the same as Sean Week with one a day for 5 days. Be a nutrition plan with it. We do still have room on some team cups. If that interested you or anyone else, since I am recording this. And I did kind of like a rundown of a top 10. And so a lot of the people talked about social media and how when you're vanilla on social media or in life, you don't attract anyone. So if you're just be you and be big and be bold, and if that doesn't attract some people, that's fine. They are not your tribe. They're not your people. But when posting, we want our posts to be inspiring, entertaining, or informative. And that when we're going through those hard times in our life, I know like it's easy just to retreat into our own shell. And they really talked about instead like sharing your, your ish. Not always being that hot mess, but just having those vulnerable moments and sharing with people what you're going through. And as you change and grow, your audience is going to change and grow. And if you just stay the same, you're attracting the same people you may have already helped. And then they talked about how to separate like where on social media do you want to be like perfect and where do you kind of want to be more unpolished. And so they talked about the perfect places would be like Facebook posts, Instagram posts, and like a blog. And then you save your more imperfect stuff for like Snapchat, Instagram stories, and when you go Facebook Live. Because like as a mom, you're always gonna have kids interrupting you. You're gonna say the wrong thing. That just shows people you're real. We talked about like the fundamentals of achieving success, and it was just 5 things. And I think a lot of us are already doing those 5 things: setting goals, visualizing achieving those goals, positive affirmations, talking to yourself better, and then surrounding yourself with people who are going to fill you up. And it wasn't necessarily they were talking about like people who you actually know, but authors, just by like doing that PD. So like speaking of PD, they recommended some books, and Jen is reading one of them, and that's Present Over Perfect.
Yeah, I saw that the other day on Facebook.
And I have kind of these on my list. The other one was The 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins, and then Why Leaders Eat Last by Simon Sinek. And I heard you already did your courage score. I have it written down to do. But
Yeah, I got a 3.08.
So when you get that number, that's like, they also had the top coaches, Beachbody coaches do it. I don't know if like it gave you a comparison.
It did. It just says the highest is a 5, so I got a 3.08 out of 5.
Cool. Yeah, I need to do it still, so that's awesome.
It's super quick.
Okay. Yeah, it just was like there. Everything was kind of whirlwind, and then afterwards we were supposed to spend a day like decompressing and spending time with our family and stuff. So I kind of feel like I'm a little bit behind this week. And the last thing I kind of wanted to share was I think a lot of time, like in our team page or as coaches, we complicate the 4 vital behaviors. And Danielle Natoni's husband, and she would have been like the modifier in Insanity Max 30 if you've ever done that. He says
I've done a couple of them.
Yeah. She just kind of has short hair or whatever. He said all inviting really is saying hi to people and asking how they are. And the worst thing that can happen is you make someone's day. And as a coach, we just need to work out, drink a shake, read, and talk to people. Like that's our job, and we're doing most of those things anyway. So the last thing we need to do is just work on making people's day. And I just love that. I just think we've overcomplicated it with numbers and calling it special things and power hour and power of 3. And I mean, that's all you're doing is saying hi to people. So it's actually interesting. I started doing it out on the way home from New Orleans. I saw a girl had a bag by like the Erin Condren banner I have. So I just walked up to her and I said, "Do you both love your planner. And we had like a short conversation about our planners. And I did the same thing with someone in an elevator. And I did the same thing at the chiropractor's office today. And I don't have an agenda in mind. I just kind of want to get back to the way things used to be and how people used to chat and see where it goes from there, because someone else may be waiting for our conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I just told Shannon we're going to do like some more in-depth sessions, like in our team call, about these things. And if you have questions on any of those new launches or things coming out, in the post about it, I posted the FAQ too, so you can read more about it. But I'm sure like come September, we'll be doing something team-wide with that Clean Week.
Okay.
And that's kind of like one less thing we need to do. So we don't really need to plan our free groups anymore. We can work on. So, excited to see what you think of Shift Shop.
What?
I'm excited to see what you think of Shift Shop next week.
I did the one day where it was like during Sean Week when it was like the sneak peek.
Mm-hmm. Yep, speed 25.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
So I'm excited.
I'm so glad you're doing it with us. And I don't know if you know, indie tickets, they go up after the 23rd.
Okay.
It goes from 145 to 195, and then they are transferable. So like if something came up
Okay.
and you weren't able to go, are transferable to like a certain point. I think it's April,
Okay.
but you can check the dates for that too. And the website's already updated. I already have 4 rooms for us, and always get more. And I think it's really going to bring the cost down too by the bus option.
Okay.
It's nice. We don't have to drive, and we don't have to pay the money to fly, and Tyler will just drive. That's what we're hoping for.
Okay. I will talk that over with the hubby.
I know you have a big birthday coming up when we talked about doing Super Saturday on December 23rd. We were hoping to
Mm-hmm.
fill for the cities, but one has not popped up yet.
Say that again.
There was we were hoping that a Super Saturday event on September 23rd would pop up in the cities.
Oh,
And there hasn't been one posted yet, so we're still waiting.
okay.
But if it doesn't come out soon, I'll just have to start planning. But I was thinking it would be really fun because Carl Deichler was at the last. It was either Carl or Sean T was at the last one in the cities. So they always, those bigger ones always have corporate representation, so it would be kind of neat for people to see. But
That'd be cool.
yeah. So just message me if you have any questions.
Will do.
Thanks for hopping on.
Yeah.
Have a good week.
You too.
Bye.